What's up, everybody? Back for another live beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Kind of. I don't really go live all that much. You guys know this, especially if you follow the channel. So the last time I went live was back in the fall. I reviewed a pumpkin beer. It was kind of impromptu. So this one I set up 3 days in advance. Why? Today is the 5th anniversary of the channel. It's the 5th anniversary of the channel. Yes, April Fool's Day. I started it back in 2018. It's kind of a running joke with some other beer tubers. I always said I was going to start a channel, and then I did on April Fool's Day to kind of keep them guessing. Joke's on me, I guess, because here we are five years later, and I'm still going strong. So what I'm doing today is I am reviewing this beer right here, and then right afterwards, I am going to do a live stream talking about the 2022 year in review as far as beers go. I'm going to list my top 22 beers of 2022. I know it's like 4 months overdue, but whatever, we're doing it. And just going to talk about the channel and how beer tubing is going. You know, it's been 5 years since I started my channel, and it's been, close to about 14 years since I started watching beer reviews on YouTube and kind of ingrained myself into the community. So anyway, I thought to celebrate this weekend. So for those non-wrestling fans out there, this weekend, April 1st, April 2nd, Saturday and Sunday, is WrestleMania weekend. So if you follow the WWE, this is like their big show of the year. And this beer fits perfectly. Why? Because it's from El Segundo Brewing Company. They're out of El Segundo, California, in conjunction with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And we have their Steve Austin's Broken Skull Double IPA. So the Double IPA comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. I did not find any IBUs. At some point, I'd imagine they will pop up out there, but I couldn't find any. At the time of review, I don't know if this will come up on camera. I don't know how good. I got a new webcam here, but that does say Best Buy of September 7th of 2023. I would imagine they give 6 months on this. So this is probably like just over 3 weeks old. They probably canned this on March 7th. I would assume. I don't know. I make assumptions. Maybe I should. Now, the interesting thing about this one, and I know this happened for the other two that I had, this is contract brewed at Two Roads Brewing Company in Stratford, Connecticut. They do a lot of contract brewing. So this is not straight from El Segundo. But I wanted to do this because the first one I had from them, their Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA, 6.7% West Coast IPA, was really good, especially for like a gimmicky beer. These aren't really that gimmicky. They're actually pretty good because then I reviewed the lager that they released last year, and guess what? Still pretty damn good. So I'm expecting this one to be damn solid. Now, let's bring up a little information. This is, I don't do the share screen thing a lot, but let's bring up a little bit of information here on the Broken Skull beer. Let's see. So as you can see here, I already have the double IPA up. It says, so first available the week of February 27th in the Los Angeles area, and then early March for other territories. What you're looking at here is a little treat me and the guys at El Segundo Brewing Company put together for you. It's a double dose of what you love, because why not? Y'all deserve it. You can think of this as the big brother to the single IPA. This beer adds Centennial to the lineup to give it more citrus and juicy fruit punch. We keep the malt bill simple with 100% Rahr. 2-row Dextrose is added to the kettle to dry the beer out. Cheers. See, 8%. Now, hops for the just single, they use Citra, Chinook, and Cascade. So they're introducing Centennial, and then they got the notes here, which whatever. We'll see if we get that. I actually went back, and I never really do this when it comes to beer reviews and looking back. I always forget to look back. I actually look back at my Broken Skull IPA review. I gave it a 3.95 out of 5, so round of 4. And I also said that the one thing I enjoyed about it was that it wasn't a typical West Coast. Like, I didn't get a lot of pine. A lot of times you get that pine bitterness. I got more like of an earthy, floral kind of bitterness. But the citrus and pineapple and stuff kind of was right where it needed to be for the style. So is this a gimmick beer? Yes. Is this a pretty good beer? In my opinion, yes. Now, I also want to say before I start this review, right after this, like I said, I'm doing the live stream. Come by, chat. So let's talk about your favorite beers in 2022. What are some of your favorite breweries? What did you discover last year? Maybe a style that you started to really enjoy. It's probably going to be a good hour and a half, 2 hours long. We will see. So anyway, we're going to crack this open, get it into the glass, see what we got going on. So we have one comment so far, which I will put on the screen from Dustin. 6 people watching. He says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dustin. Hope everything's going well. So let's give it a pour here. Last time I did the Broken Skull IPA, poured it into a Tiku. And I had like 3 or 4 comments where people were like, Stone Cold would never drink that in a fancy beer glass. So we just got like a regular lager glass here, although it's a treehouse glass, so it's kind of pretentious, right? Anyway, so yeah, this pours out a little hazy, honestly. It's a little bit darker on my, so I got a new webcam, the Elgato face cam. I just got it because my other webcam was just kind of just beat up and not working, software and everything. So I just like get a new one. So this is a bit darker. Maybe I'll have to mess with the lighting, but just a bit darker. It's like it's more like a yellow kind of straw color, where on camera it's more like a orange, darker orange color. But it has a decent clarity. You can see, through it a decent amount, as you can see there, right? But it does have a little haze. Hold it up to the light, about a finger of an off-white, soap sudsy looking head. Let's get a nose. Yeah, so here's the thing. This smells extremely good. Like it smells just like a very well-made West Coast double IPA. A little bit of that bready, almost caramel malt vibe. And then there's a lot of citrus. And much like the regular one, this has like the entire citrus. You're talking peel, you're talking juice, you're talking pith, you're talking all of it. And it's more to the orange and, say, white grapefruit side of things. But then I'm getting a little bit of that like sweeter pineapple, like a white peach, maybe a little bit of that candied mango they're talking about. So again, this is kind of like a 90% old school West Coast double IPA with like a 10% new school influence, like that candied mango, a little bit of sweeter juice. And it does have a piney, floral, earthy thing going on, but it's not as pine heavy as others. So before we get into the taste, let's look at some more comments here. We have FLX Beer Reviews, Dan and Mike. They're actually doing some reviews as we speak. They're not having a great day. They said their light fell and all this stuff. But the boys, I wish them well, and they might hop on the live stream afterwards. If I do invite anybody, it'll definitely be those guys. So he says, just in time for WrestleMania, baby. Not coincidence. But yeah, I pretty much did this because it's WrestleMania tonight and tomorrow, and it should be a good time. Next, we have Brodford, he says, woohoo, 5 years. Way to go, Joe. Thank you. Thanks, good sir. And then Dustin says, all is well. Already had a couple of good brews today. Awesome, Dustin. What did you drink? I was going to go in for a sip like I'm just, Jesus Christ. Sam Smalley says, yeah, boy, what up, son? Sam on the live stream. Sam, I don't know if we're going to do any after parties or whatever, but if you're around today, I'm got the face cam going. I'm ready to roll for the vast majority of the night. So, and then Billy, huge supporter of the channel, great dude. I had to text him because he said he would forget, so he did, and he says hello from Northern California. Cheers, Billy. So yeah, this smells really good. Smells like a very well-made, highly enjoyable West Coast double IPA. So let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. It's really damn solid. So, yeah, so this is a little bit, so I take back what I said about that 90-10 old school West Coast double IPA and 10% new school. This is more like 75-25. It's kind of like in that North Park realm. Settle down, Dan. Settle down. Anyone who loves North Park, settle down. I'm not saying the quality is to that level of some of their like hop foo and all the variants and everything. But what I'm saying is this isn't just straight, West Coast 100%. There's a little bit more going on. Body's higher side of medium, lower side of full, more higher side of medium. So the extra 1.3% to the base, you definitely notice it because I feel like that beer was just medium. The mouthfeel, it is crisp, has a moderate carbonation, very smooth on the palate though. It slides down the throat hole. Shout out to Rick too. Rick hooked me up with a crazy beer mail recently. A bunch of beers from his area in Connecticut, and I'm slowly working my way through those. But he's also a Rangers fan, so fuck you, Rick. But we beat you last night, but you guys are making playoffs and we're not. So I don't know. Rick and I go back and forth with the Sabres because he's like, I'm pulling for you guys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pulling for us too, but we're terrible. So anyway, Gareth Drake says, I'm enjoying the Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. It's by far my favorite. Gareth, for me, the best American porter in my opinion. Not like without question, because I do like Black Butte from Deschutes. Founders Porter was always delicious. Smutty Nose Robust Porter back in the day. Anchor Porter. But I still think Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald is my favorite. So back to this beer. That's really nice. So up front, it's a little bit of that sweeter citrus, so like more like a candied orange peel, a little bit of pith. There's some grapefruit. Right after that, I get a white peach, touch of pineapple, that candied mango I think they were talking about, definitely there. Halfway through the palate, this beer starts shifting from more of a sweet, kind of like, there's a little bit of bready malt too, like a sweet, like maltier beer. Not maltier, it's just sweeter from the malt. So the perceived hops bump up the sweetness. Then in the back of the palate, though, it finishes with more of a pine and floral, like resinous tone. This is moderately bitter. Semi to full on dry. This is not a sweet beer. Up front it is, but on the back of the palate, semi to full on dry, moderate bitterness, definitely West Coast through and through. I do get a little bit of the alcohol, just a smidge. It's not big or anything, but I can tell I'm drinking a double IPA for sure. 100%. I do think right now, if you're somebody who enjoys these 8% double IPAs, whether they're hazies or West Coast, I think this is right in your wheelhouse more so than his normal Broken Skull IPA. I don't know. I think that this one is on a similar level, maybe a little bit better for me, but it's not substantially better than the regular one. And I think from an ABV standpoint, I think I prefer the 6.7, his regular. More comments. Rick says, haha. Is that you laughing at the Sabres? It should be. Anyway, Dustin says, had a clairvoyant clown session, New England IPA 4.7 from Widowmaker and blueberry from Widowmaker. And blueberry breakfast dead forever Imperial Stout with blueberry, cinnamon, maple syrup, and coffee, 11%. Delicious and dangerous. And then Billy says, Russian River Brewery, their Windsor Porter is really good. Here's the thing, Billy. I'd love to try anything from Russian River that isn't Pliny or Blind Pig. Like I've had like their Supplication. I've had a couple like the Wild Ales, really good. But I haven't had anything like that. I haven't had any of their lagers. People going nuts over their lagers. I've never had any. But I would believe that they make a good porter because they make good beer. So yeah, this one I'm really digging. I will say though, when I take into consideration price point and what I want out of this beer in comparison to the base, the regular 6.7% single IPA, I think that one is a little bit more approachable for most. And I also think value-wise a little better, but this definitely tastes better. It tastes like a bigger beer. I enjoy double IPAs as opposed to singles, although I don't discriminate against single IPAs or triple IPAs or whatever. I like them all. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm getting a little bit of the alcohol in the back of the palate. And it's kind of weird nowadays that drink an 8% beer and get a little bit of alcohol. Rainy Airplane says, cool. I will pick up Broken Skull, I guess. Yeah, just got done 2 cans of Equilibrium Greenstone Double IPA. The Greenstone, I think I reviewed the Greenstone. Almost positive. Maybe I didn't. I'm pretty sure I did. No, maybe there was another one called Greenstone from Old Nation who does M43. Yeah, maybe I haven't had the Equilibrium one. Dan says, Billy, how's the throne of barrel-aged goodness? I just imagine Billy just has like a cellar that's like Kyle's, but just strictly barrel-aged California beers. That's what I feel like anyway. Sam says, I haven't had any of the Stone Cold beers. Whenever they arrive here, have only been in city stores, not online, and sells out straight away. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, he is one of the most, if not the most popular wrestler of all time, definitely in the top 3. I mean, I guess you consider like The Rock and Hogan would be like the top 3 if you want to throw Flair in there, I guess. New school would be like John Cena, but like everybody knows Stone Cold for the most part. So I think that makes sense that they show up in Australia and they're just flying off the shelves. But then again, you just get Trillium drops and get your hands on side projects. So what the fuck do I know, Sam? Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with the review of this one. For me, I think this is better than the regular. But I think if I wanted to session something or have something in my fridge to drink occasionally, I would take the regular. This is more flavorful, more impactful, has a little bit more of everything on the palate, which you'd expect from something that's bumped up 1.3% and just is in the double IPA range. But this is a very well-made West Coast IPA. And I'd say in the taste, again, it's mostly West Coast double IPA, but there's a little bit of that new school, like more candied hops, sweeter hops, different like mango and things of that nature, peach, where I think old school West Coast IPAs and double IPAs, just basically citrus and a little bit of pineapple mixed in with pine. I do wish there was a little bit more pine in here. I am getting more so than the single one, but not enough to kind of wet my whistle, so to speak. So I am going to give El Segundo's Steve Austin's Broken Skull Double IPA. I'm gonna give that a high 4 out of 5. I'll go 4.1 out of 5. Now, price point availability. This was a bit expensive. This is like I paid $5 for that can. I want to say 4-packs here in Buffalo were either 18 or 19 because I didn't buy an entire 4-pack, just bought a single can. I want to say the single one was $15 or $16 a 4-pack. So depends on which one you'd prefer, but I don't think the prices are all that crazy considering it's a novelty gimmick beer that's actually good. And it's not much more than, say, your typical hazy double IPA nowadays, which are, 18 to $22, depending on where you buy them. Availability. Let's bring up the Broken Skull website again. This is cool being able to do it live because then I don't have to sit here and go, I don't know, guys, what's going on? So I'm here where the beer's at. But if you go to Find Beer, right? Let's go to Find Beer. It loads up. Now you can put in your zip code down here, and it'll show you whatever you need to know close to you. But they have a generic kind of like map finder, right? This is only for the IPA and the lager, but this is eventually going to, I'd imagine, have with the double IPA. So the dark blue available in stores statewide, if you look and add up all of these dark blues, there's just over 20 states that is available in. Available in stores regionally, just Illinois and Pennsylvania. And then Craft Shack is basically through the Midwest and like mountain region. And then like you got Washington State, you have Louisiana and South Carolina, West Virginia. And then not available only in 7 continental U.S. states, and then Alaska and Hawaii. So it's also available in Japan. That's crazy. So if you want this beer, you probably can get it at some point. So keep that in mind. Rainier Prey says, oh, so get some booze. Maybe not pick it up. Cheers. Yeah, there is. I'm getting a little bit of booze, honestly. Like, it's not substantial. Like, it's not boozy per se, but there's a little bit of a booze feel. Like, I can tell I'm drinking a bigger beer, which some people enjoy. Just like, it's crazy how many people enjoy the hop burn when it comes to hazy IPAs. Like, I've had a lot of people comment on my reviews where they're just like, hey, I like when it's, 5 days old and I get that hop burn. I can't get enough of it. For me, like, I can handle it in very mild doses. But like when a beer dominates with that hop burn, get me out of there. Get me the hell out of there. Billy says, at FLX, pretty good. It's nice being retired to be able to afford to buy beer for my cellar for sure. I'd assume that's a lot of fun, Billy, being able to procure beers for your cellar and see how they age or just don't drink them like Kyle and I. I didn't say that, Kyle. Kyle did not say that. So yeah, Broken Skull Double IPA from Steve Austin and El Segundo. I could sum this up by saying if you're a fan of Stone Cold, you're a fan of wrestling, grab a can, grab a 4-pack, try it out. If you enjoyed the regular Broken Skull, I think you'll enjoy this one. Hopefully you don't get the booze like I do, just because the booze is, dare I say, raining on my parade a little bit. Yeah, I'm never going to do that again. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. What's up, Chris? Where's my uniform? Now, listen here, Chris, I love you, buddy. But the fact that you would come to this live review, after retiring your channel and just saying, I'm not doing beer tubing, then ask the same question that Greg asks or has been asking for 5 years now. I'm disappointed in you. I'm absolutely 100% disappointed in you. Rainier Parade says, off the 10th, come back, man. Cheers. Yeah, he should bring it back, but not if he doesn't enjoy it. That's the thing. Like, I'm going to talk about it more in the live stream after this, but okay. Josh, you're raining on my parade. That's the second time I'm going to use it. No, I'm doing the live stream, Josh, right after this. I might join later, Josh. I might be down in my beer reviewing area for the vast majority of the night. So, I might join with my ugly face. Be forewarned. Assuming you'll allow me on your channel, Josh. I know this. So, the green garlicky hop burn are the only hazies I can get down with. See what I'm talking about? And these we enjoy. Like, you ask somebody about beer tubing and they'll tell you you're a fucking moron, and I can't argue with them because you're talking about beer on video. Yeah, it's very nerdy. It's ridiculous to some degree, but I enjoy it. So anyway, so if people do enjoy the hot burn, if they enjoy that green astringency, more power to you. For me, by the time I drink like 4 or 5 ounces, my throat's on fire. It's just not all that enjoyable. So yeah, so here's Josh saying cheers all, and he's going live tonight at 8. So if you want something to watch later on, if you're not watching WrestleMania and you're chilling, go check out Last Beer, spelled exactly how it is in the comments section. If you look over there, there's Last Beer. Josh is a good dude. He's always done with craft beer, but then he's right back on the wagon the next day because he's never done with craft beer. Next, we have Roomhat says, just want to say I love the vids. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Congrats. Oh, thank you very much, Roomhat. I appreciate that. I will definitely keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. We'll talk about it again in the live stream momentarily, but I have thoroughly enjoyed beer tubing over the last 5 years. Had some breaks that probably have helped me so I don't get burned down on it, but I've enjoyed it. Next, we have Chris from Off the 10th. I may come back maybe in 4 months. Why exactly 4 months? Why 4 months? Why are you coming back in 4 months? 4 months is August 1st. What are we doing, Chris? Chris, what are we doing? And then, shout out to some. You're gonna hear the sun pump a lot. Here's the one thing about the live coming up. We're supposed to get crazy thunderstorms and like 50-mile-an-hour winds here in an hour or two. Hopefully, I don't lose power during the live stream. But if I do, I guess it was just an intervention from God saying, "Do not do any shitty live stream show." And but yeah, craft beer is dead from Josh, and then fresh cut onions. He's crying. He appreciates me. You don't appreciate anything, Josh. I don't even appreciate myself, but I appreciate you. Also, is it appreciate you stepping on Alex's toes at this point? Oh, Chris clarifies. He clarifies, baby. I'm devolving into Dr. Road with a half an 8% double IPA. It says it'll be a year from the last video. Okay, so what was the exact date of the last video? I'm gonna keep this live review going until 3:30, and I had the live stream scheduled for 4, and I just did it because I didn't know how long this live stream would be. But I'm going to end this at 3:30 and instantly start up the vlog. I'm going to do a share screen, and we're going to go over my top 22 beers. We're going to just talk about 2022. Hopefully, anybody who watches, you guys can interject with your favorite beers and breweries and styles from 2022. I'm going to talk a little bit, get a little bit sentimental, so to speak, about the channel hitting the 5-year anniversary. Because a 5-year anniversary for a YouTube channel that hasn't died, pretty significant, I think, especially when it comes to beer tubing. A lot of folks start beer tubing channels and don't last, 5 months. So looking at you, Chris. No, Chris has been going for a long time as well. So until he called it quits. So yeah, I mean, I actually might shut this down momentarily if we don't have that. I have 10 viewers, which is pretty good. But there's not much more to say about this beer specifically. It's just, again, it gets I 4.1 out of 5. Did I even rate it? I don't even know if I 4.1 out of 5. I gave the regular one a 3.95. Forget what I gave the lager. I will say this. If you want to pick up one of the beers, I wouldn't recommend the lager only because it's pretty pricey for like an American lager. I think it's like 13 or 14 bucks a 4-pack. You can, and it's not much better than a lot of your I don't even say macro, but like just your better. I mean, there's 4-packs of Pilsners and lagers I can get here from local breweries that are $10 a 4-pack. So I think the IPA and double IPA are worth it, and the lager not as much. Then again, if you're not an IPA guy and you're a lager guy, or you're somebody trying to get into craft beer or try craft beer, you probably want the lager. Sam, there's a couple things I could say to you, but I won't. Chris says August 20th was the last. Okay, so you're going to bring it back on August 20th. Sweet. That's 7 days after my birthday, Chris. Sam Smalley, 5 years too long. Ha ha. Hey, Sam. You're in the position I was. And you can ask Chris this. You can ask anybody else. Back in the mid-2010s, like I would tease starting a channel and I never did. You're the same way, Sam. I need to wait to get my laptop. I need to get some equipment, blah, blah, blah. Now, you jump on a lot of people's live streams. That's exactly what I did for about 5 years. And then I finally started my channel. So based on your current trajectory, I'd imagine you'll start your channel in like 2028, 2027, something like that. Is that what we're looking at? I love you, Sam. We got Pack Attack down here. He says, whatever happened to Chris from Beer Geek Nation? I think he just kind of got done with it, is what. Now, so when it goes to the OG beer reviewers, I didn't watch Chris a lot. I watch him occasionally. I would do a lot of, watch a lot of, especially for like hype stuff, because he would get his hands on it first. So I'm not as in tune with his videos as much as somebody else. But from what I can gather, he kind of just got burned out on it. I mean, he was doing a lot of videos, and to be honest with you, if you watch my channel, you know my production value is like through the roof, right? Like this is top tier. No, all I do is shoot the video, I cut down the beginning and end, and then I upload it. That's pretty much all I do. With Chris, he actually had production value, and we're talking 10, 12 years ago, where you didn't see production value, especially from beer reviews back then, like he had them, right? So I think he just got burned out on like doing it. And then I'll be honest, and I'm not there yet, and I don't know if I ever will be, because I do enjoy talking beer. But there's only so many things you can say about certain styles, and Chris would review like a lot of the same style, because that's whatever's hype, right? Whatever's getting views, whatever people are talking about. Your hazies back then, like that was just starting to hit the market, like your tree houses and trilliums, and people are going nuts. Or you're like barrel aged behemoths. I mean, people forget like 10 years ago, there weren't a bunch of barrel aged beers. There were a handful. He would say very similar things about everything because they're very similar. I mean, it is what it is. So I think he just got burned out personally and just was like, I'm kind of done. It's a shame, because there's a lot of people that really thoroughly enjoyed his content. And holy shit, what the? Okay. Billy sent me a $20 super sticker. Thank you very much, Billy. I turned down these super stickers and whatever, where you can, I don't know, show your support for the channel. But I always feel weird about the fucking, I don't know. I'm one of those guys that like, I just review beer on YouTube. The fact that people send me beer or want to send me beer or even send me $20 because they enjoy the channel, like, I can't comprehend that. All I can say is thank you. Like it's crazy. I don't know. Thank you though, Billy. Holy shit, that's crazy, dude. Chris says, end this shit already. LOL. I'm going to in about 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna hop in and do the regular live stream. If anybody comes here for the Steve Austin review, they're gonna be thoroughly disappointed that this is about 5 minutes of Steve Austin review. Me just okay. And then we have Josh. He's sending me $5. He says, make crafts. What kind of crafts? You have to specify, Josh. I don't know what that means. Make crafts. And then Luke John says, cheers, Mr. Not So Average Joe. That's right. I'm below average Joe. You know it, Luke John. Luke John's the best. I like to see you doing some reviews too, Luke John. I've been checking the one out you posted the other day. Or maybe it was yesterday. Good stuff. And then Pack Attack sends $4.99 and says, you're awesome. Also, thank you very much, Pack Attack. I do appreciate it. And then Dan shipping in with $1.99. Here's a resurgence for you at FLX. Dan, I need like $1 more, man. That's $2.99. This is, I mean, resurgence is top tier. This isn't Jenny Cream. I appreciate it though, buddy. I love that. And see, like, that's a perfect way to show. Send me $1.99 and then say, here's a resurgence. Now, Dan, I'm going to have to buy a resurgence can and review it in your honor. You know that's going to happen now, right? Like, there's no way it can't. Chris says, good job, Billy, Last, and Pack. Yeah, I thank you, all of you, for the donations. Like, listen, I spend a lot of money on beer. Whatever I make from the channel, it goes right back in, and I don't make enough to cover the costs. So the fact that I have $32 or whatever, Google takes and whatnot, I will put it right back on the channel and buy some beer. If you guys have any requests, Pack Attack, Josh, Billy, to pick something up that I can get locally, I will definitely do it and go ham on it. And then Friar Joseph says, hey, Joe, what's up, dude? I've been checking out your stuff a little bit since you commented on my videos. You need to do a little bit of a dive, but I enjoy them. And then Chris says, also FLX. Yeah, thank you, Dan and Mike. I think it's Dan that runs the channel, so Mike didn't chip in with that $2. He says, I make nothing. What do you mean? Yeah, you don't make money. Nobody makes money on this, though. And then Dan says, I didn't see that twist coming. That you did not. Okay, so thanks to everybody for the super sticker from Billy and the donations, and that's cool. Like I said, I turned that on just because why not? Like, I don't know if people want to donate. Like, if anybody wants to donate any money and specifically have me review a beer, like, I'm all ears. Like, I'm down. I'm always down for recommendations, suggestions. So anyway, I'm going to shut this down, and I'm coming back with a live stream, live vlog, talking about the channel's 5th anniversary, top 22 beers of 2022, and we're also going to see what you guys have been enjoying in the past year. So I'm going to shut this down. Thanks to everybody coming right back, probably like a minute or two, and we will have a good time. And then last comment, Dree Fontanen out of the bowl. Maybe I'll make that happen, Josh. Maybe I'll make that happen. We'll have to see. That's fucking crazy. And Fried Jones says, I'll send you some Irish crafts. Cool. And then I'm done with that. Irish crafts all day. And then Billy says, next time I go to North Coast Brewery in Russian River, I'm going to pick up some beer for you. Thank you, Billy. I'm always down to try. I mean, North Coast is just an OG brewery that I love. So, and Russian River, obviously, I'll drink everything that I can get my hands on. So, all right. See you guys in a couple minutes. Going to shut this down. Like I said, to recap, good beer. I think the base one is a little bit more drinkable, but this is more flavorful. Pick it up if you want to. If not, cool. Anyway, to the next one, which is like 2 minutes. Goodbye.